Good morning, North America. Welcome to Church Talk Light, the VCast version of Church Talk and all things church transformation. I'm your host, Dr. Bill Tenny-Brittian, and I'm joined, as usual, by my co-host, Dr. Kris Tenny-Brittian, in our studio in Columbia, Missouri. Say good morning, Kris.
Well, good morning, and welcome to Church Talk Live.
Bill and Kris Tenny-Brittian here today to talk about the third part of a four-part series. We're talking about how to take a vision and create strategies from that. And this session, we're going to talk about how to take your strategies and make tactics, or determine your tactics that you're going to use to get and achieve your vision. And you know, that's one of the key things is how do you achieve a vision?
Right. Well, let's say this, that we've talked about these first two parts, the vision and the strategies, in previous Church Talk episodes, and you can find those with a search. But eventually, this is going to be a four-part DVD that they can load down.
4 or 5 part, or maybe a wrap up or whatever. But yes, indeed, there will be DVD. And if you're watching this sometime post maybe June of 2011. You may want to go up to the website, flipyourchurch.com, and have a look at the videos that are there and see if it's available in one fell swoop.
So we're going to try and highlight these past episodes for you enough that you can follow along with us today. But if we're saying anything that might be confusing to you, or that you might think, wow, I need to review that, I don't remember that exactly this way, because goodness knows I'm guilty of that myself. So if you in any way see that, do go ahead and pick up those earlier episodes. So let's talk for a moment that the reason we're doing these series is because some of us are really good at getting a vision. You know, it's like, woohoo, we should do this, or woohoo, listen, it could look like that. But from the vision to the actualities, that doesn't tend to happen. It breaks down. Right.
Well, and then the other side, the other group of people, you know, you and I are both sort of big vision people. And I've learned how to become a statistician and a tactician. Not real good at logistics still, but I have people around me to take care of that generally. And you are more of the tactician, taking the tools and make them work. And you also do big vision very well.
Yeah. And I'm a bit of a strategist. I can do strategy.
But very often what we find is church leaders, pastors are included in this, that you either are a big vision kind of person, or you're I can take and make this happen, but I'm not sure what I want to do yet. I don't have the vision necessarily to where we're going to go, or it's maybe not an achievable vision.
Or you may be so caught up in logistics and the like that you never get a chance to think about them in terms of a big vision.
Right.
Which honestly is what's happening in a lot of our congregations. So we've got a lot of people who are doing a lot of stuff that's worked in the past and probably came out of a process similar to what we're talking about, but that was decades ago.
Right.
And we're just doing it and doing it and doing it, and we're not assessing. We don't know why we're doing it, other than this is just what you do, and it's not getting us anywhere because the vision's been gone, and we all know that passage, you know, without a vision, right, the people will perish.
Right, and well, the other key point with this is that sometimes we launch out a vision, and the vision is so big that it's overwhelming, and we have no idea how to get there.
Right.
There's a lot of the 200 barrier, breaking 200 average worship, is a very difficult barrier to break. And a lot of churches will set there, we want to reach 200. Well, the problem is A, that may seem like overwhelming, but B, it's a real tough barrier. And so to really, we advise people, if you want to break through that, you want to set your goal at 300 or more. Well, that blows people away. How can we do that? And the reality is if you're going to break the 200 barrier, you might as well plan on being a 300-member church or average attendance church, because that's where things are routinized. But it can be so big that it frightens people. So we want to talk, and that's why we've done this series, is to help churches, church leaders, to go from their vision, this big, hairy, audacious big, hairy, audacious goal, this huge vision, and make it achievable. Because if all you have is great big visions and you never achieve them, it's just wishful thinking. It really isn't visioning.
Well, and worse than that, it creates a lot of depression in congregations, for congregations, and a lot of congregations are just tired of trying different things because so many things they've tried have fallen flat on the ground.
Right.
Right. Well, let's go back and recap quickly. We've got vision, strategies, tactics, and logistics. So visions.
Okay. Well, vision is, just a quick definition is it's a picture of your preferred future. It's where you would like to be, and it needs to be something that's achievable, but it's out there. And if it's easily achievable by you, it's probably not a God-sized vision. But it's out there and you're going towards it. So it's a vision.
So an example of a vision might be to have 400 participants in worship by the year 2014 with 75% involved in small groups.
Right, and that's an actual church vision statement from a church that I work with, and a solid vision statement. Then you have, of course, after your vision, your strategy.
Right.
And a strategy is your big picture plan. It's how do we expect to get there? How do we expect to get to this 400? And so you have the strategy right there.
Right. Their strategy in this case is that they're going to reach the vision by providing gracious hospitality, indigenous, experiential, multisensory worship, and life-transforming small groups.
Okay, those are the strategies they're going to use: hospitality, life-changing worship, and small groups, life-changing small groups. Those are the three strategies that they put down. Tactics are the flexible plan, and it is a flexible plan that are put into place, developed and implemented to achieve the strategies. Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking it's a finer detail than the strategy. I mean, we just listed off the three strategies, right? Or
right.
the three parts of this one congregation's strategy. And now we're going to take each one of those parts and think about what tactics will we do, right?
And that's actually part of the tactical process. We'll talk about that later. But exactly. So hang on. We're going to get to how to do that.
Okay. And then finally, let's talk about this fourth part that we're going to be getting to, and that's logistics, which is the management of the resources. In a way, not in a way, it is how we take care of our resources or mobilize our resources to allow the tactics, the strategy, and the vision to become realities.
Right, exactly. And again, that'll be in the next session, but we're going to touch on that later on in this session. So those of you who are logisticians, hang on, and we're going to talk. Yeah, stay with us. We're going to get there.
Okay.
All right.
So we want to talk about creating tactics.
Right, exactly. Creating
tactics.
And we want to offer some steps on doing that. We have about 6 basic steps on doing it, and they're going to sound maybe not so basic. And I'm going to depend on you to help me fill in the gaps as we go, because she's got the fine print, and I have no glasses. So, all right, so how do you create tactics? Well, the first thing, before you can do anything at all, is you've got this vision out there, but before you can set out there, you have to know what the reality is here. And you have to have an objective look at reality so that you can determine your tactics. So that's the first step, is an objective look at reality.
Well, reality is that we're here and we're trying to go there, so we're looking for what will build the bridge to get us over there, right?
Right.
And okay.
Well, there's a huge issue with that.
Right.
The real problem is that the key word in that whole statement is objective.
Right.
And it is very difficult to be objective when you are right in the midst of the congregation, when you're right in the midst of the church and saying, okay, well, what is our current reality?
Right.
And so often we can't see that reality because we're too close to it.
Well, as consultants, that's one of the pieces that we really get to do, is we bring an outside look and say, okay, here it is. And we push some of the realities, push some of the tests, or test some of the realities that may be there, or what are envisioned as realities. And we're able to say, did you notice? Have you seen? Could you go this way?